Dota. And they are facing a WLS in the finals of GCD TV tournament number 18, way back when Warlords of Draenor first came out, and the WLS actually took down way back this exact roster, Majidin, Flory, and Asper. So it's going to be almost a rematch of sorts here from way back, way before BlizzCon qualifiers of 2015. So it's going to be intense. Both these players, or all 6 of these players, I should say all 7 of these players, are very familiar with the matchups. So we're going to see some super high-level play, I'm sure. Make sure to follow all these players up on Twitter, guys, so you can check out when it is that they're streaming, what it is that they're doing, and keep up to date with some of the very best players in North America. But, yeah. We're going to be jumping into the next one here very shortly.
You there?
I am there. Can you hear me? Oh, no.
I don't know if it was me or you.
It was me. I'm dropping frames, but I look like I'm stabilizing for now. I look like I'm okay for now, guys. Sorry about that. That's a quick hiccup in our upload speeds there. We're waiting on a team, and we're going to be jumping into the game here very soon. But yeah, we're just waiting on the teams to ready up, and then we'll be getting into the action between Method and WeBack.
Oh, it strikes again.
He is. Hot it is striking right now. It's a little weird. We should be good to go. We've had no issues at all the way up until this point, so we should be completely fine. This is the final series of the day, guys. Taking a quick look at that bracket, it's Method versus WeBack here in round 2 of the upper bracket, and then tomorrow we're going to be starting off with round 2 of the lower bracket to see who's going to be eliminated from the tournament. We're going to go all the way to the finals. But before we go into tomorrow, guys, of course we have this series now between Method and WeBack. And the first map of this series is the Grand Arena.
What?
It is the Grand Arena, and WeBack is facing Venruki, Snuts, and Sidu. The 3 amigos in the flesh are entering the arena for their Mage Lock Shaman composition. You guys all know and love the 3 amigos, but they're going up against WeBack, the Frost Mage, the Boomkin, and the Holy Paladin. Game number 1 of this Best of 5 series is underway, and here we go. The gates have opened.
I wonder if they just want to test this out. I mean, they've got a lot of games to go through, so maybe this comp just works better. Venruki already taking some punishment, though, down to half HP. Just staying at the pillar for now. Asber moving up. Majidin in stealth, ready to strike. Who are they going to go on? Maybe they just pressure Sidu like they normally do. Floria moving forward now. Double Shadow Fury out from Snuts. He does get locked out on that Fear, though. Deep Freeze over on the floor, but is in the Orb. Venruki not able to sheep at the moment. Goes for the Frostjaw instead. Orb Master comes out. Celestial Alignment actually getting popped by Asber. Who are they going to go on to? Sidu gets Deep Frozen. Looks like they're going straight for Sidu. Into the Solar Beam. Down to 3%. Getting bursted so hard, got into the half bash, barely gets the link off in time. They're still just going right through his health bar. He's gonna pop the Ascendance, pop the Aura Mastery, and top his team off, but a close call for Method as Snuts is getting swapped over to. He's forced to portal back, full sheep on the Sidu. Snuts caught in the Fist of Justice. Sidu has no trinket. Snuts in retreat with that Dark Regeneration heal rolling. Will it be enough to keep him alive? Can Majidin keep the CC going? Doesn't look like he can. Snuts touch him down with the Fear. Well done, and Snuts survives.
Snuts does survive, but that opener from WeBack was downright insane. Sidu having to trinket link. He has still 1 link available to him, but Snuts using his regen as well. Floria caught into the full Fear, though. Asper on the retreat, dipping down to 34% health here, and Method is pushing WeBack from their pillar. They say, no, sir, not today. Asper going to go get the healing touches behind the pillar for now, catching up with his Holy Paladin, and it looks like Asper is ready to get back into the game already. Majidin, though, getting swapped over to with the Haunts connecting onto him, dipping him down. But Floria's position should be able to keep him healed up, no problem. Venruki going for the blink, though. He actually locks out Floria, forcing Majidin to block here. Great blink lockout from Venruki there. Deep freeze on the Sidu, full polymorph. Hodge over on the Venruki, and he just blinked. He can't get out of that. Snuts is in trouble. He's pulling back as Sidu's in that full polymorph. Is this it for Snuts? 25% health for him. The Shadow Fury coming out from Snuts defensively onto Asper, as well as the link from Sidu is going to keep Snuts alive. Now they're switching it around onto Asper. Barkskin coming out for now, and it looks like Asper's just going to force to pull back and survive once again. Method is pushing him off of their pillar.
Yeah, Sea-Doo throwing out some Lava Burst onto Majidin, trying to pressure him, but Floria has the Avenging Wrath up, which increases his healing a lot. You can see it's topped his team off. Sea-Doo might get swapped to. He has no trinket for 19 more seconds. Venruki seems to be the target for now as he's fully dotted by Asper. Star Surge is getting chucked out here. Nature's Vigil actually used preemptively from Asper here. Floria a little bit nervous to cross the map. He's going to take the opposite opposing pillar of the team here. Try and move forward. Snut's looking for a haunt. He's looking to get the damage out. Full Hodge on the Snuts, full sweep on the Venruki, full clone on the Sea-Doo. Triple CC from We Back. Snuts in a lot of trouble as that frozen orb gets dropped. Majidin blinks in, goes for the deep. He goes for the sheep. He connects it. Snuts is completely alone. The clone gets rotated to Venruki on his block. Snuts gets locked out on that fear. Can they chain the sheep? They throw out the solar beam. They get the sheep. Snuts is down to 20%. Ice Slice connects. How is he going to stay alive? Dark Regeneration at 1. Not enough to stay alive. And We Back are going to take down the 3 Amigas in game number 1.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. The cross CC that they're throwing out onto Venruki was key to their success here in this first game number 1. Venruki gets that blink lockout, getting so much momentum for him, but out of that, man, the Hodge after the blink, the Cyclones that followed up, and just the stops that WeBack had is going to take down Method here in game number 1 of this best of 5 series. And I can't help but think, are they going to change their composition up against this Mage Boomkin Holy Pally? Or are they going to try again with the 3 Amigo Dream?
I just want to watch the replay. So Venruki blocked his sheep, and then Asper, gets the clone. That was just perfect timing. Like, they rotated the CC perfectly there, full duration. Snuts had no backup. No backup for the 3 Amigos. They made it 1 Amigo. 1 Amigo is not enough.
The cross CC makes it that happen, man, and We Back is going to take game number 1 of this best of 5 series in round 2 of the upper bracket. The winner of this series will move on to face Tempo Storm in the semifinals, and you know they both want to be there to take on the Tempo Storm, and we're going to jump into game number 2 here very shortly. This means that We Back is going to have to announce their composition to Method preemptively, but of course they're probably going to be sticking with that Mage Lock, or I'm sorry, that Mage Boomkin Holy Pally composition they're so well known for, but they do have to choose a map as well. If I was in Majidin, Asper, and Floria's position, what map would I bring it to? Would I bring it to a nice big open map to just stay in their face, or would I bring it to like kind of like a balanced map like Tiger's Peak?
I think you play WLS. I think you play Dalaran Sewers.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I don't think you try that again, because they just, like, MLS is a really CC heavy comp, and then they just got out CC'd. The Moonkin's mobility can be used offensively much easier than the Warlock with Displacer Beast, so you can just get in their face. It looked like it was really hard for Snuts to be able to chain any CC. I mean, like, the only CC we really even saw on Flory was like a counter spell. And I mean, they got a block with it, so imagine if they could have gotten more CC, they might have been able to force more pressure, but it seemed really hard. Right. So I don't think it would be smart for them to play it again.
That being said, that block was purely from just one lockout. I don't know, like maybe if they had like a different setup or a different play style, it could be, they could get more. I don't know. I feel like MLS is one of those compositions where it has a couple options on the way that you choose to play it. Like you can choose to play it like as a setup based comp, as we saw earlier today from MLS, or you can play it as like one of those rock cleaves. You know what I mean? And I don't know, what strategy do you think that this MLS is probably most comfortable with playing?
I don't think it works with the Shaman. I mean, like they have no lockdown. Asper can just run every time he knows that he's alone. Yeah, they could actually lock Asper down with the Fist of Justice, but with the Shaman, there's no lockdown. Asper just blinks away, and like the Moonkin's strength is his mobility. So if you have no stun to lock him down, you're really never going to kill him. Like a good balanced druid won't die most of the time unless he's stunned. Like
it's actually a really good point that it was a paladin and not a shaman, though he does have that paladin available to him. But looks like Method is taking their time with their choices as well as their map choices, so we're gonna see what it is that's gonna come out from Team Method here. Again, just a reminder, guys, this is Method versus We Back running that 3-player roster: Majidin, Floria, and Asper. Make sure to follow those guys up on Twitter if you want to catch some streams. I mean, there's only a handful of Boomkins that stream out there. I mean, there's Asper, and I think that's really all I'm familiar with. So if you want to catch a rare occurrence of a Boomkin stream, you can always follow Asper. Floria always representing that Holy Paladin, and Majidin on that Frost Mage. So make sure to follow those guys up at Twitter. And of course, you have Venruki, Elliot Venzel on Twitter. Smexxin as well has a recently made Twitter account, so make sure to follow him up to christen that new Twitter account. And of course, Sea-Doo and Snuts. But here we go, guys. It's Tolvaron Arena, game number 2 of this best of 5 series. right. Looks like Method sticking with the comp. Mage Lock Shaman. They feel like something wrong happened. They just didn't do something correct, it would seem. And they're going to stick to their guns. They're going to stick to the 3 Amigo Dream going up against Weeback's Mage Boomkin Holy Pally. I have to say, I'm a pretty big fan of the Majidin Transmog, though I've seen Rosita Jones wear it first. I'm just gonna lay that out there. Rosita Jones did wear that Transmog first. I don't know if that means it's his, but we're gonna get into the action here in game number 2 between Method and Weeback. It looks like Method is going to sit that pillar and play the game a bit patient. Asper moving in, trying to get the setup. It looks like Majidin getting a deep freeze out onto Sea-Doo. The orb coming out. They're swapping the pressure over out onto Sea-Doo into the solar beam. That's going to be the trinket link from Sea-Doo. But is that going to be enough? The DR Bash coming out as well. Sea-Doo in trouble using another Spirit Link. That's both the Spirit Links in the opener from Weeback. And Method is on the back foot. Can they turn it around? And there's a whole bunch of damage going out on Asper. The deep freeze goes out onto Floria. The bark skin still up for Asper, however, and Sea-Doo's got to be careful for the next setups moving forward. No trinket, no ascendance, no links available for the next setup. But Asper taking so much damage. The Save by the Light is going to be procced through all that. No bark skin available as Floria is put through all the CC. And Floria now put through the half fear. Asper coming out though. He feels like this is his time to move. And the next setup from Weeback is going to be a big one, I feel.
Yeah, they could get a kill on Snuts. He's got no dark regeneration with Sea-Doo having no trying to get some damage gain chucked out Venruki's way. He's trying to pull back, down below 20% even without any crowd control. Lots of burst coming out from Weeback here. Sea-Doo caught in that Fist of Justice. Are they going to swap again? It looks like Majidin's trying to get a sheep out of it, but he's going to get Shadow Fury. Get shut down by Snuts, breaking out the CC. Asper on the run, and this is where the mobility from the Moonkin comes into play. As soon as Floria gets CC'd, as soon as Asper knows he's the target, other side of the map. Just instantly out of the action. And Majidin, though, getting swapped over to, might have DC'd. He was kind of standing there for a second. Now he's forced to block. Asper down to half HP. Method gaining some momentum here. Barkskin might not be enough for Asper. He's down below 30%. Floria's forced to Aura Mastery here. Majidin goes in for the deep. He's looking for the sheet, but he gets feared on it, and Snuts shuts down the deep sheet once again. There's a Fist of Justice on the Snuts, so that gets dispelled pretty quickly by Sea-Doo. Majidin getting locked on Arcane. Floria actually forced to bubble. Majidin getting bursted down so hard right now. He's on hypo. He can't block, and the 3 Amigos not quite enough to pull it back. Floria will stabilize his team. Definitely a close call, though, for Majidin.
Whew, all of a sudden, Method is pulling it back here. 1 block remains for Majidin. No hypothermia now. Moving forward into the game. Vernaruki taking a bunch of pressure now from this Mage Boomkin as they push forward. They're not going to go ahead and extend too far. But look at Majidin's health bar. It's ping-ponging. Floria's wings, though, it should be able to keep him completely fine. There's the cycling going out onto Vernaruki. Maybe Asper and Majidin want to push in here and get some CC out onto Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo has that trinket now available to him from using it in that opener. Or actually, did he stone form the opener? Because I feel like that trinket coming back is kind of early. Asper, though, taking a bit of damage. He's catching some haunts, but it's just going to be cleansed up by Floria. And Method playing a very patient game here in game number 2 on Tolvaron Arena.
Yeah, Asper's just going to pull back. Floria's down his bubble. They kind of want to just reset, wait for that Celestial Alignment. I mean, they almost got a one-shot on Sea-Doo at the start. Maybe they're just going to look for that again. But he will have a link. He will have a trinket. Venruki actually going into invisibility, so I wonder what he's going to do with this sneaky stealth. Is he going to go all the way into the enemy lines? Sea-Doo getting solar beamed. It seems like Snuts is going to be the primary target here. Some Star Surges go flying. Snuts is going to portal back out of line of sight. Sea-Doo still caught in that solar beam silence. Now into the deep freezer, swapping over to Venruki. He's going to blink back to the pillar. Shadow Fury over onto Asper. The Haunt and Drain Solar up. He locks him on his clone. He's unable to Barskin, dipping lower and lower. Venruki's ready to attack. Can they stop Floria from healing, though, is a question. Floria's just free casting. Tops off Asper. They're going to pull back in retreat. Snuts getting locked out on that Haunt. More damage following it up. Sea-Doo sees it coming. Tops him back off. Venruki getting cloned there. Not able to push in just yet. Venruki has his clone. He's got his orb. He's got a lot of damage ready and waiting to go. He blinks in. Floria line of sights the blink. Really well done from Floria. Asper running back now. Floria getting full feared. Snuts cuts him off. Asper could be alone here. He's getting burst down pretty hard. Majidin getting swapped to. Forced to block. And Method's damage is just so sporadic. Switching over and over. Floria finally leaving that fear. But Majidin is still low HP. How is Floria going to get some healing out here? Majidin gets the sheep in the meantime. Venruki could be in trouble. Kind of overextending here on the map. Sea-Doo still getting sheeped up. Venruki's going to gate back. Snuts is going to cover him, throwing out some damage, allowing him to recover at least. Sea-Doo still getting CC though. Asper looking for a clone. He does get counterspelled by Venruki. Venruki gets locked on Frost! Down at 40% HP. He's forced to cold snap before blocking and still has to block. And now suddenly Venruki has nothing left.
Oh my gosh, Weeback smells blood. Asper using Celestial Alignment there seems to be paying off at the nick of time. It seemed like they were not going to get anything out of that, but regardless, it happens. Trinket Link coming out from Sea-Doo now, and Method is defenseless from the onslaught of Weeback moving forward into this game. Can Asper and Majidin make it happen, or will Method stop him? Stutz is doing such a great job with those Shadow Furies, just doing in the lockouts as well, just stopping the momentum of Weeback and really forcing them to play defensive here. Normally, we see Weeback in their face on their pillar, and they just can't afford to do that right now, and I feel a lot of that has to do with both these, or all three of these guys stops, their wind shears, their interrupts. But here we go. Looks like Asper and Majidin want to push in. Looks like they want to make something happen right here, right now. They know Venruki has no blocks for quite some time. Can they make it happen though? Sea-Doo with no trinket, no link available to him. They're super vulnerable, and the peels are coming out from Venruki. You can see it. The spam polys, the frost shot, the deep freeze. Venruki looking for another polymorph as well. There's the silence going out on Snutz's fear as well. Asper getting locked out on that entangling route though, and here we go. Can Weeback get the setup that they need to finish the game, or will Snuts and Venruki and Sea-Doo stop them in their tracks? Deep freeze goes out on to Sea-Doo. Nothing to follow it up just yet. Majidin getting so low to death, catching the execution sentence from Feloria though. But look at Method. They're playing so well and just stopping as much as they possibly can to survive here, because they know they're vulnerable for like an entire minute.
Yeah, Method is not really looking too good right now. No trinket link, no blocks. One more setup on Venruki could easily be the game here. Celestial Alignment coming up in about a minute though, so Asper's damage is going to be a little bit lower than normal. Flurry caught in the deep freeze, Shadow Fury onto Asper. Venruki looking for the sheep. He does land the full sheep successfully onto Flurry, but Asper's already out of line of sight. Majidin out of line of sight, and they're trying to catch Venruki. They're trying to bait him to overextend right now. They've got a decent CC chain onto Feloria, but they need to be careful. Venruki sees it. He's not going to fall for the bait. Blinks back with Sea-Doo. Going to wait for that trinket link to come off cooldown before leading the assault. Snut's getting swapped over to now as he's in the center of the map. He's going to portal back as Method retreat, recover, and reconsider their options here. Celestial Alignment is coming up. Solar Beam gets dropped over onto Sea-Doo. He's got Stone Form, choosing to sit through it. He wants to save it and make sure that he can trinket link. Asper getting caught in the Shadow Fury stun. He's looking for a clone, lands it onto Sea-Doo, but he's still taking some punishment here. Feloria is forced to trinket. Who are they really going after? Seems like Snuts, but Snuts is in such a good position they can't really hit him. They want to hit Venruki, but they're just so slippery. They're not able to lock them down properly. Feloria is a little bit nervous to push across the map with no trinket now, no bubble for 5 more seconds as we see Weeback now retreating. Method, maybe they're just going to gate forward. Maybe they just charge in. Definitely want to see Snuts play a little bit aggressively here, at least try and get some dots on them. Maybe they can split up and force them into at least one of their line of sights here. Feloria is sitting down for a drink, and he should be able to get a lot of mana back with it.
Ooh, he is, dude. He is 87%. Now, CD with a trinket link available to you, and Venruki with a block now available to him. Method has survived the storm. It's not taking a bit of pressure from Weeback in the middle of the map here, but we're getting deeper into dampening, and Weeback's burst is going to be hard for Sea-Doo to deal with. Snuts being forced to port back from that damage that was coming out from Weeback, but it looks like Method is standing their ground. The double Shadow Fury is going to be blocked by Majidin right away. The deep polymorph is going to land on Floria, and Asper's the kill target. There's the bark skin is going to be used to save, but the light's going to proc as well, and Asper is on the defense for now. Majidin pulling back with his team, but look at Method pushing up. They're getting off the pillar, and they're making something happen right here, right now. Venruki now the kill target, taken down to 50% healthier. Sea-Doo in that solar beam. Is this going to be Venruki's block? And there's the block from Venruki for another 2 whole minutes from the Celestial Alignment. They're swapping over onto Sea-Doo into the bark skin. He gets the trinket link off, but is it going to be enough? He has nothing left. The Aura Mastery coming out from Sea-Doo. Is this going to be enough to heal him through it? The double Shadow Fury from Stunts peeling his Shaman and his Mage for their lives. Majidin, though, he has one more block available to him, and he's forced to use it as Floria is put into a half polymorph, and they're just trading cooldowns for cooldowns. Who's going to win this game? I have no idea. No one has anything left. Majidin, though, he's so out of position, man. At 20% dampening.
There's no way he lives.
Floria coming out. Ice Nova's connecting out on the Majidin. Floria using that hand of sacrifice preemptively. Majidin getting locked on polymorph. He can't turn this around. The defensive clone goes out onto Venruki to stop some of the damage out onto Majidin. We're at 22% dampening, guys. This is such an intense matchup. The double Shadow Fury from Snuts is going to be blinked out by Majidin. Asper being swapped to force the bark skin. He's going to get locked on that Cyclone as well. And Method has all the momentum in their favor. Can they land it? Can they end the game against Weeback? Solar Beam goes out onto Snuts, interrupting him on that UA. Majidin and Asper gotta pull it back somehow, some way. There's the deep freeze out onto Sea-Doo. Nothing to follow it up just yet. Cyclone's going out onto Snuts defensively. Sea-Doo actually pulling back for now. He doesn't want to be in their face too much. The Hodge on the Snuts, the bash on the Venruki, the polymorph out on the Sea-Doo. Venruki without a block available to him has got to be careful from the random burst of Weeback. We're at 26% dampening. Who's gonna win?
Yeah, Flory gets locked out into the full sheep. There's nothing for Mages, and there's nothing for Asper. And Method are looking like they're going to take game number 2 pretty easily here. They just need a little bit more damage. Just squeak it out here towards the end. Snuts looks through the fear. He gets the full fear. Majorden and Asper still on the run, barely staying out of line of sight. Double Ice Nova comes up from Venruki. Comet Storm connects. Floria leaves the CZ just in the nick of time to squeak out a heal, keeping Majorden above water. Majorden actually getting locked on Frost. Not too relevant, as he does have no blocks remaining anyway. Frost shot onto Floria. Majorden still feeling the heat. He's trying to spell steal those Riptides off, trying to get whatever healing he can. Asper caught in the fear, Floria caught in the sheep, and there's no way that Majorden should make this out alive. He gets locked out down to 12%. Snuts is going to finish him off with the Drain Soul, and Method are going to take game number 2 on Tolvaron Arena against Weeback.
Yes, they are. Crazy plays coming out from Method to stay alive throughout this entire game and, you know, ultimately just wear down Weeback and stop their setups. And there you are. The series is now tied 1-1 in this best of 5. And Snut, Sea-Doo, and Venruki running that Mage Lock Shaman is going to take it back. They're going to take it back. They're not going to run the WLS. They're going to meet him head on with the Wizards.
And it could also be that they feel this is a better matchup overall, and they just want to practice it.
I mean, it's valid, absolutely. But here we go, taking a quick look at that scoreboard. Snut's doing 9 million damage. Asper actually doing 12 million damage. That's nuts. And here we go, guys. We're going to be getting into the next game. And that was a 35, like a 34-ish % dampener. That was a very large dampening game.
Yep, and now, though, that map was really big. I wonder if it played into a factor. I mean, having the gateway is a pretty nice advantage, too, from the Warlock side. Whenever they were able to overextend, they could just gate back to their pillar. So now without a big map, maybe it's not the same kind of advantage. Although with the big map, Floria also avoids CC pretty easily. It seemed like towards the end, things just started falling apart. I mean, they had no more structure, they had no more blocks, no more bark skins to rotate through. So stopping CC was critical, and nothing really got stopped on Floria. It just went 3 sheeps, 3 fears. Like, it just really wasn't anything stopping it, and ultimately Majin just couldn't survive on his own with nothing left. But we could see, like, okay, I think we got the map here. Runes, yeah, so Runes, the small map. And we saw Cedo, like, in the opener, have to trinket link. And then there was one point where Venruki got locked, so he had to cold snap block. And then they just couldn't capitalize on it afterwards. So if Weeback could find a way to get a little bit more damage or a good setup after forcing something like that, they could easily take this.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like, after that, though, I don't know, Method just... They stayed at their pillar and they rotated their position and like really just tried to play as defensive as possible, you know, and it was that play that I feel like was the reason why they were able to survive long enough to get back to the point where they had their defensive cooldowns to rotate through. And on Runes of Lordaeron, are they going to have that positioning opportunity? So like you said, we're going to find out on Runes of Lordaeron, but we've seen Runes of Lordaeron time and time again actually like just completely you know, turn around on someone's map pick. Like yes, it gets you the opportunity to connect, but it also can be a double-edged sword. Do you think that they're gonna switch to WLS as soon as they see this map choice of Runes of Lordaeron? Because they get to see the map choice before they lock in their comp.
I don't. To me, the fact that they're playing MLS 2 games in a row after losing tells me that they feel that is better, and they want to polish it. That's what it's telling me. So I mean, if in reality they're just wanting to polish this because they really feel it's better, then they'll stay with it.
That's a good point. All right. So we're going to wait for these guys to ready up, and we're going to jump into the games. It's game 3 between Method and Weeback. It's currently tied 1-1 in this best of 5 series. Just showing you that bracket of what series we're running with right now. It's Method and Weeback here in round 2 of the upper bracket. The winner of this series will go on to face Tempo Storm in the semifinals, and the loser will drop down to face Please Sponsor Us in the lower bracket. And you know, being in the lower bracket, no one really wants to be there. No one really wants to be on the line for elimination throughout the tournament, or even have to go through in a completely separate series to get to the finals. So both these teams are going to be battling out, giving it their all to see who is going to come out on top here. We're going to find out very shortly who that will be. I'd just like to take a quick shout out to all of the new subs today. We did reach 241 subscribers. That's bananas to me. When we make initial sub goals like in our head, and we have reached it and more some. Like the momentum that you guys have is awesome. So I really do appreciate that, guys. Oh, here we go. Finally, the queue has popped, and the next map is Ruins of Lordaeron. Welcome to Ruins of Lordaeron. It's Method versus Weeback. The Mage, Moonkin, Holy Paladin representing Weeback is going up against Method, Venruki, Snuts, and Sea-Doo running the Mage, Lock, Shaman. And, yeah, so they're sticking with the same comp. They're not going to be switching to the WLS, not even in a map like this. And, you know, actually I prefer it because I feel like the Mage brings a lot more stops to the damage that Sea-Doo is going to be taking on a map like this. I'm assuming he knows it too. Look at him. He's going to sit back towards the room. He does not want to expose himself at all against this Mage Boomkin composition.
Yep, Venruki trying to find Asper from stealth. Asper just coming out, moonfires blazing, ready to set up here onto Sea-Doo as the Celestial Alignment gets popped. Asper's going to Trinket to finish Sea-Doo off early on in this game. Sea-Doo Trinkets drops the link, gets Solar Beamed on his Trinket, taking an immense amount of pressure. He gates back to the tomb, down to 12, Denounce connects. Will he be able to survive? He pops Sewer Master at 7%, barely heals himself back up to 42%. Dark Regeneration used from Snuts as well. Weeback could swap the pressure pretty easily here. Asper trying to play it safe though, cloning out Venruki. Cloning his Trinket, well done. Just you seeing some incoming damage. Floria sitting through that full fear. Asper now under fire, forced to Barkskin at pretty low health though. He's going to retreat back to the room, but he's right on top of Snuts' portal. If Snuts wants to port back here on top of him, maybe he could finish him off. Full Frost on a Floria. He's going to Aura Mastery out, Avenging Wrath, and top off Asper.
Yes, he's going to be A-okay for now. Deep Freeze into a Cyclone, going to land out on a Sea-Doo. Snuts the kill target in this full Hodge. He's dipping down to 40% health here. The Demon Soul coming out. He's trying to switch this aggression back around. Majidin getting polyed up on that Polymorph. And Snuts' Demon Soul is about to do some work. Floria now caught into that Deep Freeze. Does Venruki have anything to follow it up? He gets the full Polymorph. Asper in some trouble. Forced the bubble out from Floria. And it looks like Asper once again was on the run there for just a brief moment. Every time Asper has to go on the run, it seems like Method has another breathing room, but here we go. Here's the Solar Beam as well as the Root. The Bash goes out onto Snuts into the Hodge. Do they have any CC to follow it up out onto Sea-Doo? The Deep Freeze lands, but Majidin actually blocking out of that Polymorph. Gets the full poly. Snuts could be in some trouble here. No Trinket Link available from Sea-Doo. Snuts has no regen as well. If Asper and Majidin can reconnect, surely he'll go down. The double Shadow Fury from Snuts onto Asper, and Floria is going to come out defensively. Sea-Doo put into the Cyclone. Snuts getting reconnected to. Can Sea-Doo keep him alive through this? 18% health here. Asper getting defensively feared there over and over and over again, and Sea-Doo is going to leave the CC and should be able to stabilize Snuts for now.
Yeah, Barkskin available for Asper. He's trying to hold on to it as Floria is not crowd control, but he's still taking a lot of damage. Cloning out Venruki now, trying to prevent damage. Full Hodge over onto Sea-Doo. Are they going to swap? Looks like he's trying to clone him out. Clones him full out of the Fist of Justice. Snuts still in trouble here. Still no Dark Regeneration for about 9 more seconds. Can they chain the CC? Majidin lands the Sheep, but Sea-Doo's just going to Trinket out of that right away. No links left. He wants to break up the chain. Floria now getting Sheeped. He wants to go on offense here. Asper forced to Barkskin. Full fear onto Floria now. He still has his Trinket, but he's holding on to it. Asper down below 39% HP. Trying to line of sight with this cart. Floria is going to pop his Avenging Wrath, reconnect with his Balance Druid friend, and stabilize him here. Defensive Sheeps over onto Majidin. Asper actually still not quite recovered completely. Now Floria finally topping him off. Venruki getting cloned up, and it seems like Snuts is going to be the primary target here. Sea-Doo goes into the full Deep Freeze. Majidin looking for a Sheep, gets Shadow Fury, Trinkets on it, goes for the poly, gets Wind Sheared into a full fear. Good shutdown from Method on Majidin to prevent that CC. Now Asper once again on the run, going towards the cart here as Floria is stuck through a full Sheep chain. Sea-Doo going forward, maybe going for some Lava Burst, purging down Asper, trying to remove whatever he can. There's the Lava Burst. Will he be able to get it off? But they don't chain the CC. Floria is going to get out. Full Solar Beam over onto Sea-Doo. He has no way out. Venruki trying to Sheep defensively for Snuts here, but he's going to get cloned up. He blocks out of the clone to try and save Snuts. Sea-Doo is no longer CC'd though, and he should be able to pick him back up. Asper getting locked on that clone. No Barkskin for 3 more seconds, but Celestial Alignment is up. Sea-Doo doesn't have a Trinket. If Asper can stabilize, they might be able to 100-0 Sea-Doo.
They really could, but do they see that is the question. Or they can continue to go on to Snuts over and over again. I feel like going on to Snuts and playing defensive like this is making them fall behind. Now Majidin forced to block out of this as the consistent pressure from Method is becoming too much for Floria to handle, and all the CC as well. Asper in a lot of trouble, dipping down. He just goes down. The Ice Nova is just too much for them, and Method is going to take game number 3 against Weeback on Ruins of Lordaeron. taking a quick look at that replay, that Celeste alignment was up, but they just couldn't find the opportunity to get aggressive. It just seemed like Asper was always defensive.
Yeah, it was really hard on that map, and that was the map choice for Weeback, right? So they picked that Runes of Lordaeron, and yeah, it was hard. Floria just ate a lot of CC. I actually just want to watch the replay myself to see what Floria really had left, because that Celestial alignment, I definitely think it should have been on Cetus. So Floria gets deep frozen, trinkets a poly right away, dispels. I'm not sure what he dispelled on Asper there, but Barkskin. I'm watching this with delay, obviously. Yeah. Actually, this replay is really delayed. So yeah, Floria trinkets out of that sheep. I don't think he did very much with his trinket, and then he just sits through a full fear with no Barkskin, and Asper just gets popped.
Yeah, I feel like Floria rotated through his defensive cooldowns well, but it's just too little too late. I don't know. Maybe Weeback needs to find a way to, say, get offensive even when at low health. I know that's really hard. Just trade up the defensive cooldowns instead of you know, like trying to be like as frugal as possible. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like pulling back is helping Asper all that much. Every time they pull back, they just lose so much momentum. But those openers that these guys pull off are just downright incredible.
Yeah, I said Moonkin has a 10% chance to win in the first 10 seconds. Every game.
Yeah, and it looks like, thank you so much. Let's see if I can pronounce your name. Nerdy Bastard, old Nerdy Bastard. Thank you so much for that sub, man. And welcome to the team. You are my 242nd subscriber, dude. Really do appreciate that support, bro. And we still don't know what our sub goal is, so make sure to tweet us what your suggestions are for that sub goal. And we're going to be getting into game number 4 here between Method and Weeback. Weeback, losing game number 2, chose Ruins of Lordaeron and then lost on it. So do you think that we're going to be going to... I don't know. They won in the Grand Arena, so maybe just a simple pick like Tolvaron Arena next? Or not Tolvaron Arena, I'm sorry, Tiger's Peak.
Yeah, Tiger's Peak could work for them. I think it was kind of strange to go with the Runes of Lordaeron. It's maybe a bit reckless. So yeah, Tiger's Peak could be safe. I'm not sure if... I mean, they ended up killing Snuts in the first game. But they had like the perfect CC. Like Venruki and Cedar just both got locked out for like 12 or plus seconds at least. And now they're not getting that. They're just not cross-CCing everyone. They're getting Cedu perfectly CC'd and maybe even Snuts getting stunned up, but they're leaving Venruki open. Or someone is open on their goes. So I feel like they do need to play really perfectly and set up the triple CC if they want to be able to beat Method.
I think we saw that level of play in game number 1, man, honestly. Like the cross CC and the stops that they were having while being aggressive, Weeback was able to just stay so aggressive non-stop. So we're just waiting. Tiger's Peak is going to be the map choice, so we're waiting on composition lock-ins from these two teams, and we're going to be jumping right back into the action. But before we do that, I just want to shout out that resub. We got a 2-month in a row resub. My goodness, I can't find you now. The chat is so very active. No one will see me resub because the chat is so fast, right?
Was Asper throwing because he doesn't want you to eat a ghost pepper?
Oh, that would be so sweet, but I don't think so. I think it was Zargus. Thank you so much, Zarg, for that resub. 2 months in a row, man. Really do appreciate that, bro. Our sub goal is just crazy. We were anticipating to get sort of close to the sub goal by the time we came up with a sub goal, but you guys are just starting to sub train early before we even come up with a goal for you. So I really do appreciate the support. Thank you guys. So we're just waiting on these teams to ready up, and we're going to join the next game. Thank you so much for the sub. Holy crow. Nraka for the sub. Really do appreciate that. Can we get some GCD hypes in chat? Subscribers for the new sub. Really do appreciate that. Nraka for that subscription. You're my 243rd sub. But here we go, guys. This is what you're here. This is what you're waiting for. It's Tiger's Peak. All right, here we go. Both teams sticking with the same composition. We have an MLS for Method and a Mage Boomkin Holy Paladin for We Back. We Back's level of play in game number 1, I think, was definitely incredible. But I don't know. Method is figuring something out and putting the stops to this Mage Boomkin's aggression after the opener.
Yep. So as long as Method can survive that initial Celestial alignment, it's looking very good for them so far in this series. Let's see if Asver gets a little bit more lucky here in game number 4. Asver just running across on his mount, throwing out some Moonfires onto everything, trying to get some initial rot pressure. Majin still in stealth though, looking for a bit of a sneakier start than Asber. Looks like Deep Freeze on Sea-Doo. They're going to start right away on him. Asber trinketing Celestial alignment. A lot of bursts following up. Sea-Doo's going to trinket. He drops the link, but he's into the Solar Beam silence. I feel like I've seen this every single time, and somehow Sea-Doo barely survives. Down, not enough! And that's what I said, 10% chance if Asber gets a little bit lucky.
Oh my
He's gonna be able to take him down.
Sea-Doo actually gatewaying before his teammates were to follow him up, so he wasn't able to get the next Spirit Link off there. And I feel like that was the big thing, is having that synergy and having that communication to be able to get that Spirit Link off is going to be a big deal, especially considering they anticipate this burst so very much. Taking a quick look at that replay before we jump into the next game. Currently, We Back and Method are now tied 2-2 because that crazy burst opener that We Back is going to pull out here in game number 4. Going into game number 5 now, it's going to be We Back versus Method. And what map choices are left for Method to choose?
The game was so fast, you're starting in the waiting room on the replay. Yeah, so Asver and Majin both crit. That's it. 10% chance to win in the opener. So I don't know really what he could have done much better. I mean, he's trinketing before the Solar Beam comes down, so he's getting silenced for the full duration when he's unable to move in the Ice Nova routes. I think that's what's happening. So he gets Solar Beamed, and he gets rooted 3 times by Asver. That's smart play. He's saving his Trents to try and root Sea-Doo right after his trinket to keep him in the beam as long as possible, and every second counts. If Sea-Doo had one more second there, he probably wouldn't have died. So Asver playing smart with his Force of Nature and some lucky crits, and Sea-Doo's going to go down.
There it is. Now it's tied 2-2. Who's going to win and who's going to move on to the semifinals tomorrow to face Tempo Storm? We'll be jumping right back into these games tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific here at GCD TV. So make sure to follow us on Twitter and on Twitch so you're notified when we go live so you can catch the finale of this amazing tournament. Now, this is the very last tournament for GCD Pro League before the finals. So that means that this is the last opportunity for these teams to accumulate enough points to be eligible to compete in that final tournament. So everything's kind of on the line here. If you guys want to, if they want to compete in the $2,000 prize pool, it's going to happen next week. They got to be able to place high. And who is going to move forward to face Tempo Storm? We're going to find out here in the next game. It's tied 2-2 in this best-of-5 series between Method and We Back, and what an amazing series it's been so far. Game number 1 just looked crazy for We Back as they pushed in and made some crazy plays happen. But Method's ability to just, put the stopper on the setups as well as just staying alive has been so very difficult for this Mage Moonkin team. But at the same time, you have games like that last one where the burst is too much to handle, and I'm expecting just as explosive of a game for game number 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm not sure what his best move would be. Maybe, can he do this at the same time? Is Spirit Link the same tree as Windwalk? I don't think you can have both of them down.
Spirit Link and, oh, that's a really good point. I don't think so. I've never seen both. I've never seen both down at the same time. Maybe it's because they want to space out those cooldowns, but
I don't know. I feel like if they designate their CC, they can stop that opener much easier. So like, I'd really like Snot's focusing on Asver, just Shadow Fury Triple Fear right off the bat, because he knows that alignment's coming, and then Venruki just triple sheeps Majidin, and then Flurry can't dispel both of them. So at least one of them should be CC'd, and you're either going to stop the Ice Nova or you're going to stop the Star Surge, and Sea-Doo's going to have more breathing room.
All right, guys. Shh. All right, guys. We are going to jump into the last map of this best-of-5 series between We Back and Method. I'll see you guys in a hot minute. It's Dalaran Sewers. Welcome everyone to Dollar and Sewers. It's We Back versus Method, game number 5 of this best of 5 series. Who will move on to face Tempo Storm in the semifinals tomorrow? We're going to find out right now. The WLS comes out for Method. That composition change, Smexxin's going to charge up Asper right away. And it looks like Asper's going to be the kill target. The Blade Storm, but this is the Celestial alignment onto Sea-Doo. He's going to trinket out of the bash. He uses the Spirit Link into the DR Hodge as well. And he's negating a lot of this pressure. And Asper's the one who's got to be careful. He's forced to blink back. He's got that bop on him, though. So he should be able to get back in there. But just a Trinket Link is going to be forced out from Sea-Doo. We back getting defensive cooldowns, but not nearly as much as they have in the past.
Yeah, it was smart. Sea-Doo trinketed and used the Aura Mastery, so Asper was unable to silence him. Fortunately, Asper saw it and held on to it, so he still has it for this Solar Beam right now as they swap to Smexxin. He starts to die by the sword. He gateways back behind the pillar, still damage following it up. Sea-Doo forced to Stone Form and drop his second Link. Now, no links, no trinket on Sea-Doo. Smexxin with no die by the sword is very vulnerable at the moment here. We see We Back pulling back, trying to recover. Floria playing very far away. Smexxin could be a little bit reluctant to leave out. Nope, he is brave, man. That is some courage to charge into the face of Asper and Majin, but he will eat a Cyclone. Asper moving forward to rotate that clone over. He does get locked out, though. Full Fist Adjusters on Smexxin. Full Deep Freeze on Sea-Doo. This could be the game. Smexxin leaps back. He Master Reflects the Sheep. Well done, preventing the CC for Sea-Doo and keeping him in the game to top off Smexxin. Now We Back are all running down as Floria sitting through that full fear. He has Avenging Wrath. He's just going to pop that right away, stabilize his team. Asper and Majin, now that they have recovered, are going to move forward. What are they going to do with the next stun lock here? Deep Freeze coming up in about 9 more seconds. Recklessness still available for Smexxin, though. He could just tear someone apart. Smexxin appears to be the primary target. He's going to Blade Storm preemptively, trying to immune a Hodge potentially, but they're not going to fall for it. Deep Freeze over on the Sea-Doo. Full Fist Adjusters on the Smexxin. Snuts with the triple Shadow Fury shut down into the Cap Totem on Asper. Asper goes for the Solar Beam, clones him up afterwards. Smexxin still in trouble, down at 50% HP. Will he be able to survive? Snuts peeling like a lord right now, keeping Asper and Majin feared up. Smexxin recovers. Sea-Doo comes out of the CC. Now Smexxin on offense, trying to build up some momentum over here on the Majin, but he does need a clone, and Asper is really good about this. As soon as Smexxin leaves the pillar, just clones him up, clones him up, clones him up, tries to stop the momentum and give Floria a little bit more breathing room.
And it's great. It seems to be working out for him so far. Smexxin without a trinket for 50 more seconds makes him vulnerable every single time he leaves this pillar. Now trinket no longer is now available for Sea-Doo, but he has no links available moving forward into this game. And this WLS, they don't like having no defensive cooldowns. They want to bring the game out a little bit longer, but I'm interested to see who's actually going to be gaining the advantage into dampening. I mean, the spread pressure from Method is going to be intense, but at the same time, the burst pressure is going to be really hard for Sea-Doo to heal through. So we're going to see who gets the advantage here as the game moves forward. None of these guys want to be caught out of position. This is match point between Method and We Back. Who will be the victor? Snuts just getting the spread pressure out as best he possibly can. The triple Nova coming out from Majid, and he's looking to get a good opener with lots of Finger of Frost procs here. And Smexxin actually still the kill target here. Sea-Doo actually getting solar beamed up right away. Smexxin's going to go ahead and just trade that die by the sword up for all that pressure, and Asper's forced to play defensive as the Haunts connect onto him. But this isn't Celestial Alignment. That was die by the sword. Smexxin now getting cycloned up by Asper as he pushes out. But still, look at the pressure from Snuts alone. These dots are so difficult for Floria to heal through.
Yeah, Asper's going to help him out, though, with that Nature's Vigil. Let's see if Asper decides to charge in here. With no Barkskin, it could be scary, but he's got Celestial Alignment, which is also scary for Method. So Sea-Doo has Trinket Link, so he could deal with it if they make another swap. And it seems like they do commit every alignment to Sea-Doo for the most part, so I would expect the same. Just get Trinket Link out of the way. I mean, Smexxin is kind of vulnerable without the die by the sword, but he has Trinket Rally. He's probably got his regen heal. He'd be able to Trinket, leap away, and survive pretty easily. So I would expect We Back to be going after Sea-Doo. Majidin's collected 5 Icicles. He's got a lot of potential damage here. What are they going to do with it is the question. The waterfall is down. They're using it to line of sight Snuts as they're moving across the map. Majidin's mounted up. They're leading the charge right into Sea-Doo. I'm sure they're going to go for him once again. There's the Deep Freeze. Where's the alignment? Snuts is going to shut it down with a Shadow Fury. Master Reflect to try and eat the Hodge. They don't manage to get it. Sea-Doo's just going to Trinket Link almost immediately and trade out for that Celestial Alignment. Now Asper feeling the heat. Down at 32%. Floria caught in the storm. I'll say by the light. Just swap to Smexxin. Rallying Cry at the same time. Sea-Doo gets locked out. Rallying Cry's not enough. And Smexxin will fall. And We Back are 3-2. And D-Machine, are you feeling the heat?
Oh, God.
That Ghost Pepper's getting closer.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that swap that We Back pulled out on to Smexxin there. Crazy plays, the Trinket Link coming out from Sea-Doo in anticipation of the damage, and then just swap that damage over out onto Smexxin, putting Sea-Doo then into the CC instead of continuing to go on him. That presence of mind is going to give them the W, and they're going to take the win 3-2 and move on to face Tempo Storm in the semifinals tomorrow and knock down Method to that lower bracket.
I want to watch the replay again too. So that's what the thing is. Like they pop the alignment on the shaman. As soon as they get the trinket and the link, they just try and CC him and switch targets. Usually the warrior, and they play it out so standardly.
There you have it. WeBack is going to take the series 3-2 against Method, but what a series it's been. Shout out goes to Asper, Florian, Majid, and congratulations on the win. And Snut, Sea-Doo, Smexxin, and Venruki will drop down to that lower bracket, but they are still a force to be reckoned with. I mean, even in the lower bracket, they are so scary. They went all the way through the lower bracket without dropping a game. I think it was like round 3 of the lower bracket, all the way to the finals. So that team is not out of it just yet. Taking a quick look at this updated bracket, Temple Storm and WeBack will be in the semifinals tomorrow. And then Method versus Please sponsor us